Hello, hello, guys. Welcome to the Jill Sillionaire Cafe, where you learn everything you need to know about cryptocurrency. Right? I am your host. I am Jill Sillionaire. And in the words of Jay-Z, you could have been anywhere else watching some other video, but you're here with me in the words of Jay-Z, and I thank you for coming. Okay, so we're going to get right into it, and we're going to talk a little bit about cryptocurrency. What is cryptocurrency and how it all came about, right? So before I get into that, this is my disclaimer. This is not financial advice. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The literature in this video is not advice on buying or selling crypto. So please do your own due diligence and/or consult a financial advisor. All right, so in the world of cryptocurrency, you have it, guys. This is right here, right now with Jill Sillionaire. All right, so what is cryptocurrency? That's what all the hype is about. Everyone's walking around saying, what is cryptocurrency? And if you have not got into the educational value of cryptocurrency, well, you're here now, and that's what's important because you are going to learn today what is cryptocurrency, right? All right, so introducing the one and only cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a digital currency, which is an alternative form of payment created using encryption algorithms. So as of March 22, 2022, I may say, not March 22nd, but March 2022. So I'll be clear. There are 18,465 cryptocurrencies in existence. Guys, don't get excited yet because we have a lot more to cover. All right. So in order for you to understand cryptocurrency, we have to talk about the evolution of money because remember in the last slide, cryptocurrency is an alternative form of payment, right? So we're going to get into that. All right, so the evolution of money. If you didn't know this, you're going to know from this point on. This is how the evolution of money came about. So in the beginning times where there was no coins, no paper, no plastic, no electronic money, no cryptocurrency, there was what we call the barter system. And guess what, guys? We still use the barter system today amongst, a couple of individuals. So what you do is you agree, excuse me for my voice because I had a Zoom earlier, excuse me. But in the barter system, what happens is you agree by shaking hands or giving an oral contract that you are going to do some type of service and the person is going to pay you in goods, right? So I'll give you an example. How that works is I have Mr. John wants me to do a painting, right? And I'm going to do that painting for him, but he is going to pay me by giving me 5 chickens, right? So he felt like my work deserved 5 chickens, and I felt like my work deserved 5 chickens. So what we did, we shook hands and we agreed. Once I finish his painting, he will give me 5 chickens, right? So that came a little bit complicated. People became dishonorable. So what came about was gold. Gold became valuable. People put a value on gold and they started exchanging goods and services for gold. But gold, if you look at it, is pretty heavy to carry around. So what they did was they put the gold in the bank and then the bank started to make little coins for you to carry around that which was lighter. So what you had in the bank is just like, when you have a credit card or a debit card, if you put $100 in the bank, then they give you a line of credit for $100, right? So same idea here, right? So what happened was you put 5 stacks of gold in the bank, and what happened, you would get that 5 stacks and a value of coins, right? So they give you like a bag of coins that's worth 5 stacks of gold, right? So coins, they use, I don't know if you ever saw the like olden movies where they were like riding around on horses. They would ride around with these little sacks of coins, and that's how they would pay for goods and services, right? So those became too multiple and things start to became more of a higher value. So coins were a lot to count out. Like, if you go to the store and they say, oh, your item comes to $10.02, they're counting out 98 cents to give you, right? So that becomes a lot. So they put the value of coins in paper. So that became paper dollar bills, or whatever your local fiat is. You start to have bills. They were much lighter to carry around, and they held higher value. So instead of doing 4 coins for $1, you had $1 bill that represented that 4 coins, right? So then we get into plastic, which is credit cards and debit cards. So now the bank says, you know what? You can carry your coins and dollars on this credit card or this debit card. And anytime you swiped it, it was like a, electronic thing where you swiped it and they knew how much you would have. And sometimes if you didn't have enough, they would say, hey, you have insufficient funds, and so on and so forth. So we still use a lot of these today, except for the gold. We still use coins. We still use dollar bills. We still use the barter system. Depends on who we are bartering with. And we also have credit cards, which are plastic cards, which are credit cards and debit cards. Now we're getting a little bit more advanced because now we have internet, right? So internet comes along, it's the information highway, and then the dot-com bubble comes, and now we are selling goods and services on the internet. So how do we pay for it? We use our plastic cards. We are using Cash App now that's linked to our credit cards and debit cards. And then we have Venmo, same thing, linked to our credit cards, debit cards. We have PayPal, Cash App. I think I said Cash App, right? Didn't mean to say that over again. But if I did, sorry for that. So then we have electronic money, and we still use those things today. And then it went into cryptocurrency. Now we are on a verge of revolutionizing money, right? We are now into cryptocurrency. All right, so you're going to say, Cheryl, okay, you told me the evolution of money. What, how, and why did we go from cryptocurrency? And what does that have to do with cryptocurrency anyway? I am so glad you asked, right? Because remember that cryptocurrency means, and it's sometimes called crypto, it's a form of currency that exists digitally, right? So we're already digital because we start to pay for things with our credit and debit card, right? So this is just an elevation of it. So it exists digitally and virtually, and you can use it, and those transactions are recorded on the cryptocurrency network, right? So, but one key thing about cryptocurrency, it's not with your regular banking system. So once you're into cryptocurrency, you're your own banker. It's not regulated by the authorities. It's called the decentralized system, meaning that it's not regulated, insured, or backed by your local banking system. So anything that you use in the crypto space, you are your own banker, okay? So we'll get a little bit into that later on. Just hold that thought in your mind a little bit until we get on to that subject, right? So now that we talked about the revolution of money, we talked about, how we're going to get into how the internet is connected with the financial sector, right? So we're going to tie all this in together. It's going to make a lot more sense to you by the time I'm done. So the history of the internet was that the internet became just a storage place at first. Basically, they were just storing information, documents, and stuff like that. And you basically looked it up for you to find certain documents. So then Wikipedia came along, because they used to have these books that you can look up information called the Cyclopedia. And then Wikipedia came on. So what they did was store all that data on the internet, because now the internet is becoming a storage place. So that's what it started off as a storage place for banking, for documents. You would go to your local mortgage company, your bank, and they would have all your documents stored on a computer, and that's where you would store it. But then guys, it's always evolution, right? And then it became a place where so many people started to look on the internet for information, and they were on there tons and tons of hours. So what happens is by the time it was 2006, it became the information highway, right? So that means that it was there for a lot of people to get information. And guess who started recognizing it? The big retail companies. So it became a dot-com bubble, like a dot-com era where companies started selling their products on the internet. So now what happens is data is key, right? So this is data key era. What is happening is that now they are monitoring what people are buying. They, their credit cards they using to buy things. Their banks is monitoring. Now we got social media where people are on platforms just on there all day. So now the retail sector goes on the social networks and start to sell things. And now they are monitoring what you are doing, right? What you are doing, what you're spending, how long you spend on it, what information you get on it. Guys, this became what they call a kind of big brother is watching you situation, because if you have a social media page, you don't really have that much control over it, because if that social media network wanted to shut you down today, they can, and you would lose all your information. So that became an issue for a lot of people. So you can see right here, I start to show you in this video, on this slide, where it was pre-internet, it was human to human. Then when the internet came, it came the World Wide Web information, where you started getting emails and they started posting a lot of information where it was stored. Then it became the Internet of Services, where you started to work online and sell things online. Then it became the Internet of People, where social media started getting involved, Facebook, MySpace, Skype, YouTube, all of them. And now it is the Internet of Things, this machine, because now they are tracking the data. They're tracking the data on what you do. So this is just another example of what I talked about in the other slide, right? So let's go over that summary, right? So we got currency, right? So currency, and this is all leading up to what cryptocurrency is, right? So you got currency led into internet, then internet. Well, okay, so let's go back. Currency, which is barter, bills and coins, digital payment, digital currency, right? Then you got internet, which is the introduction of data storage. So now they call that, after they became the internet, they called it the Web 1, which is the www.com, the information highway, that type of that's what they call Web 1. So you may hear these terms interchangeably, right? So then you have Web 2, which is called the .com bubble. That was the e-commerce. That's the productivity. Whoa, I spelled that wrong. Productivity one. And then you have the social media and digital payments, right? And then you have Web 3, which is what we are moving into, which is now is going to be cryptocurrency, the metaverse, and crypto payments, right? So this evolution is the same exact route that, if you look at the bottom, right, it's the same exact route that Blockbusters took when it turned into Netflix, right? When Netflix took over, because we have evolutions every time, right? Then you have retail stores, and then Amazon took over. You had gas cars and electronic cars took over, right? So that is the same way with the way the evolution went when it came to currency. And this currency it had the inspiration behind all of this was the internet and the way it progressed from the internet to Web 1 to Web 2 to Web 3. And now they're changing the currency to accommodate that Web 3, right? All right, so enter between 2006 and 2008. Then that was between the era of Web 0.2 to Web 0.3, which we have now, from commerce, social media to crypto and metaverse. There was Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008, approximately around that time, right? But the identity is unknown, so we're gonna just say Satoshi Nakamoto. That's when this came about, and I'll tell you why. Bitcoin was created because the internet went like this. It went from Web 0.20, which was the .com bubble, the social media, to Web 0.3. So from the commerce, social media, to crypto, metaverse. And right, from bills, coins, credit cards, debit cards, Venmo, PayPal, all of those to cryptocurrency. So we're going to see how we got into that, right? So introducing cryptocurrency. Not cryptocurrency, introducing Bitcoin, which was the beginning of cryptocurrency, right? So Bitcoin, mind you, Bitcoin is a software. It's a software, right? It's a software that does a lot of different things, but it is a decentralized software, meaning it's not regulated by the government, for digital currency. So you can transfer it from person to person, right? So simply, Bitcoin is the name of a software that is decentralized cryptocurrency, a decentralized network that cryptocurrency travels on, right? So we'll get into that a little bit because it'll make sense later on, right? So Bitcoin is a software. Remember, it's a software. So I know you heard of Bitcoin as being a coin, but what it is that it's a software and people buy shares into the Bitcoin, which is considered a coin, right? So that's a share. So I want to use relatable terms. So Bitcoin is a software that it does decentralized banking on it. So, the information of crypto travels on the Bitcoin software. Now, what the actual Bitcoin is that is valuable is a share in the company of the Bitcoin software, right? So if that makes any sense. So this is what happens, right? In a nutshell, just to brush over, nothing more than that, right? So Satoshi Nakamoto's dream was to create a system that is not overseen by the government and governmental regulations. That's what we call DeFi. Now, the current central banking system is called CeFi because it is regulated by government. And, so the central banking systems are said to keep the division of poor and wealthy consistent by monitoring the assets through the main banking system / AI, which is artificial intelligence, which they call Big Brother is watching / bots / algorithms, all of which allegedly came about during the .com era. And that's why I mentioned the .com era, when customers are paying for by credit and debit cards, social media bans, banks monitoring your banking transaction, mortgage rates, and etc. So through these transactions, they collected data on your financial status and they are able to monitor it. So when you pay a certain amount or you do certain things, that algorithm and those bots watch you. And what they can do is either halt it and give you an error and you thinking that it's your computer, but it's not. It's actually Big Brother watching, and they can stop some of the transactions and they have a lot of control over that. And Satoshi Nakamoto was like, we work for our money. Why are they able to regulate us in this way? So he or she or the group or whatever it is felt as if we were being micromanaged by the CeFi system, if it makes any sense so far, right? So the creation of Bitcoin and then the Bitcoin software. So this was the timeline. So basically, they made up a white paper. White paper is just a form of documents that is on the Bitcoin network, which is on the cryptocurrency network. And what it is just a published document saying this is what's going on. This is the technology behind it, and the technology is Bitcoin. So then they created the first block mine. The first sale was Pizza Day in 2010, where someone purchased a pizza with Bitcoin. And then they started to get in the stock market, showing a little bit of pizzazz. Hey, this is Bitcoin. And in 2013, it got on the market. People started buying shares of it, right? Or they started what they call Bitcoins, like they bought the coin, but it's actually a share. So, and then the first Bitcoin fork happened in 2017's forks our initiation that, Bitcoin is a protocol, and they started to make like different products about it. And then the Lightning happened, the Lightning Network. It became so popular in 2018, and now we are here in 2022, and everyone knows Bitcoin, and it's like probably the first thing on their lips when they say cryptocurrency, and people say Bitcoin. But it's so much more to cryptocurrency than just Bitcoin. But we know that it started that way. So what is all the purpose of all of this, right? The purpose is it's kind of like a battle between CeFi and DeFi. So CeFi is your centralized financial, your current banking system. Well, that means that any bank that you bank with, this goes on. Your banking system is regulated by the government, which in turn, the banks regulate the general population's finance, their spending, their interest rates, their mortgage, their banking, their inflation, online banking, etc. It's government affiliated and managed by the banks and the government, right? So Satoshi Nakamoto wants it to be DeFi. And guys, if you have not indulge yourself into cryptocurrency, just know that this is the future of banking. Okay, so your banks in a couple of more years are going to be starting to fade out because the future of banking is DeFi and the cryptocurrency, right? So the future of banking is the system that runs on the Bitcoin software. So now we are going from, because remember in CeFi, what happens is all your documents, and this is why we have so many hacks in banks, is because all your documents is in one place, and it's called the main system, and they monitor it, and the bots and the algorithms monitor it. And when things seems a little bit strange for them, they shut your stuff down. Okay, so in DeFi, there is no one main network. This network runs on thousands and thousands of computers, maybe even millions and billions by now. And for you to do one transaction, I've heard this, don't quote me on it, but it takes the minimum of like 5,000 computers to verify one transaction. And if that's the case, it would be very, very hard for a hacker to hack 5,000 computers to do one transaction. But moving forward, so this is this system runs on the Bitcoin software. The government and banks does not regulate your finances under this system. You are your own banker. It's not government affiliated, and it's not managed by banks. And this is what Satoshi Nakamoto was getting at. And he was like, he or she or the group, I have no idea, the identity is unknown. They were basically like, listen, hey, we work for our money. We should be able to regulate our own money. We should be able to do what we want with our money without Big Brother watching, right? So I just have a little example of how that works out. So if you take a look at your top left corner, the white right here. So this is the government, and the laws go down through the Treasury, and then the Treasury dictates those laws to the central bank, and then the central bank, this is where all your documents are being held in the central bank under that one main computer. And then the central bank hands out all the rules and regulations to your commercial banks. And then the commercial banks go ahead and tell you what the rules are and how they can give you money and when they can stop. Because remember, when you go open up a bank account, there's probably a book full of rules and regulations that they have that you're supposed to read before you sign that document in 5 minutes. And what happens is they tell you all the rules and regulations of what you can do and what you can't do, how much you can take out per day, how much you can put in at any particular time. And then you have to explain this, explain that, how you get this money, how you get that money. Because when you get a mortgage, even if a person wanted to lend you the money, you have to get a written statement from them saying that they got it from here and that they are giving it to you, and so on and so forth. I'm quite sure there's some good reasons behind it, but they basically have a one size fit all type of regulation. So that one size fit all goes out to everyone. It goes out to your homes, to your jobs, the court system, the prisons. And they say, hey, if any of these rules are broken, we're going to send you to prison, and you can go to court and state your case. And then there's just circles back around and around. And that's how it works. But then you have DeFi, which is on your right bottom corner. And here you are. If you're looking at the white part of it, here you are. There's a woman there. If you're following my cursor, she's the sender, and all she does is send it to the Bitcoin network, which is in the middle. This is called the DeFi network, and the receiver gets it. That's just bottom line, right? That's how it works. You're your own bank, and you send it over. And no one have any rules and regulations on how it works. But if you're in a CeFi and you try to do the same transaction, you're the sender, it have to go through your bank. Your bank have to reject it or accept it. And then it goes through your MasterCard. This is a transaction if you're doing online. And what you do is your MasterCard and Visa approves it. And then it goes to their bank. And it still can get rejected at this point. At any time in between the bank and the Visa credit card system and the other bank, it could be rejected for whatever reason that they decide to. And either that person, the receiver, will get it or they won't get it. Okay. So that is the difference. If you look between on your bottom right again, you see the DeFi system here and the CeFi down there. All right. So here we go. So now we're going to break it down into fiat and coins, right? So your current currency is under CeFi. It is centralized, meaning that it is regulated, and that could be cash, Visa, it could be Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, any of those electronic payment resources. But the future is cryptocurrency, and this is DeFi. That means it's not regulated. You are your own banker. I say that one more time. You are your own banker. And these are some of the coins that you can use on a cryptocurrency, which is on the Bitcoin software. And there are many, many new ones out there that have upgraded, but we're going to just talk about the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency at this point. And if you need to find that out, I will be doing more videos about those different things going further, right? All right, so here we are today with a new currency called cryptocurrency, which is the future of banking. And then you say, Jill, I got my hand up. What are some of the Bitcoins? What are some of the crypto coins? Because I'm so clueless and I want to learn more about it, but you're not actually clueless. You're just information deprived, right? So we're going to get into that. So the most popular cryptos are some of these right here listed, right? So we already know about Bitcoin. Then we have Ethereum. You may hear about that, but basically Ethereum is an upgrade of Bitcoin. People of the world, we always have to do an upgrade, right? We have to upgrade on something or one up something, right? So that's just the way it works. But then you have XRP, Cardano, which you may have heard. A lot of people call this the meme coin, right? And then you have Chainlink, you have Tether. Tether is a stable coin, but when you get into my courses a little bit more, you'll learn a little bit more about Tether, about stable coins and non-stable coins. You have Stellar, Polkadot, you have USD coin, which is a stable coin. You have Doge, which is what they call a meme coin. But at the present moment, if you heard earlier, there are over 18,000 crypto coins to date. Depending what you want to use them on. There are various ways. I can get into that in further presentations. But Bitcoin was founded in 2009, which is more likely founded in 2008. I think it was, we'll just stay in the area of 2008, 2009, right? So Bitcoin was the first current cryptocurrency and still one of the most popularly and commonly traded. It was a currency developed by Satoshi Nakamoto, which, we don't know who it is. It can be a person, an individual, or a group of people, right? And then we have Ethereum, which kind of took the Bitcoin network and software and built upon it. So that was developed in 2015. They created an upgraded platform. So the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum is that Bitcoin was just the software that transferred cryptocurrency, meaning the currency, just the coins, right? Meaning the payment, the alternative payment. We say it in coins, but in our actuality, it's just the software that, you know, transfer your funds, right? It's kind of just like the, it's basically like when you send money through Cash App and you're sending your money to someone else, you're sending it through a network. Well, so what Ethereum did was build upon it and said, okay, we can do coins, but guess what, guys? We can also put documents on there, right? So Ethereum, you know, decided to upgrade and make it a network that can record documents as well. So Litecoin is another one. It's a coin that is most similar to Bitcoin, but it's moved more quickly because Bitcoin was a little bit slow. The network was slow. So Litecoin, and, you know, it says light, right? So Bitcoin was heavy and Litecoin is lighter, right? So what happens is it moved faster in processing. And then you have Ripple, which is a distributed ledger system. So what they did was, you know, so Litecoin improved on the speed of Bitcoin, and Ripple improved on the ledger system of Ethereum. So, you know, guys, I mean, this is the world we live in, right? We have to one up everybody, right? So everyone have to one up and improve, but with good improvement, right? So you say, Jill, where is crypto most popular? These are questions that I've been asking Q&A. Where is it most popular? Okay, so take a look at this chart, right? So crypto is most popular in Nigeria, Vietnam. If you take a look at US, we are pretty much on the low totem pole of that. We are at 6%. And guys, guess what? I mean, do your own DD. As I said, go out, talk to people in different stores, talk to your relatives, your neighbors, and ask them what they know about Bitcoin. Ask them what they know about cryptocurrency. Ask them, I mean, you got the knowledge now. What do they know? But what they are not knowing, the most important factor is that it's the future of cryptocurrency, right? I mean, the future of banking. Here I am messing your guys' heads up. It's the future of banking, right? So if you have no knowledge or limited knowledge now, I suggest you get more of the knowledge now, because once it becomes the future of banking and the new currency of the world, it will be tough for some people to get into it very quickly. So let me just give you a little side note and tip. Because it's going to be the cryptocurrency of the world, you no longer will have to pay transaction fees to send money over to different countries. Like if you have relatives in different countries. So let's just say you have to exchange over your US dollars for Euro dollars because you're going to like somewhere in Europe, right? You no longer have to do that. And then you no longer have to pay that fee to exchange it, because now it will be cryptocurrency. So, you know, if you're going to be using crypto and if you're going to be using Bitcoin in America, you can use the same Bitcoin in Japan or Europe or, you know, Africa. It will be the same one. So you won't have to exchange it over and there's no fee involved. And so that is another reason why it is becoming the future of banking. All right. So this was a map that I found that is by Yahoo Finance, and it's telling you what is the most popular coin in your state. You can take a look at your state and figure out which one that is. I am in New Jersey, and it appears that Doge is the popular coin in New Jersey, which is very, very interesting. That means that we have a lot of meme buyers in our state, which is amazing thing, because I'm one of the people who owns Doge. Okay, so that is an interesting concept. I didn't even look at it like that. I also own some Shiba Inu. I have some Cardano. I also own some of a little bit of Ethereum as well. So I mean, guys, this is just a map. And if you take your time, look at it, pause the video, screenshot it, take a look at it. But that is, you look at it, that's your state. But if you notice, there's one green spot, and that's PA, and they're the only ones with lithium coin, which is interesting. It might be something to look into. Okay. All right. So let's moving on. This is the end, guys. This is my resources. You can take a look at it. and go over it and go into those resources and learn more about cryptocurrency. And I'm going to thank you guys for listening to my presentation. I'm just going to tell you to stay healthy while getting wealthy in whatever arena that you intend to do that. All right. And so my last inspirational statement is to remember to love everyone and judge no one. It is important that you keep a healthy mental mind. All right. And for more education on my crypto, you can get onto my Zooms. I have a Zoom on every Sunday at 2 p.m. and every Thursday at 1 p.m. It is called the Jill Cillionaire's Cafe. And guys, you can take a screenshot of this. I know you won't be able to press the link, but this is my meeting code, and that is the passcode. And if you do have it, you can join on that way. Or you can find out more about me and scan some of my QR codes. These are some of the platforms I am in, and you can find information about me from in any one of those, especially my Telegram group. You can always get in there, if you scan that QR code, you can get in and you can always learn about what Jill Cillionaire is doing, what is she teaching about, and where she's going next. All right. So that is the end of my presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and you were able to find out a lot about cryptocurrency. I hope I gave you some added knowledge today. And, moving forward, I'll be doing more of these type of presentations. And guess what, guys? I am here to stay, because guess what? I am going to be teaching crypto a lot more, and you're going to enjoy what I am doing next, right? So keep your eye out on that and get on my Telegram group, and you will find out more about Jill Cillionaire's Cafe. Guys, have a great day. And in the words of Jay-Z, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me listening to my video, and I thank you for that. Have a great day.